back in the sexy Sunliner, and today we're gonna be doing fuel stuff, right? So we got our fuel tank. So we got our, fuel system over here. It's kind of just running through this hose right now into the mechanical fuel pump. So we're gonna be putting in this electronic fuel pump and putting this cover plate on that blocks off the mechanical fuel pump. So we're gonna set that up today, wire it up to the ignition that we got going right there. And all right, so first thing we're gonna do is replace this mechanical fuel pump. Or not replace it, but block it off with this plate. So that's gonna be fairly simple. We don't need to remove any lines because they just go in there. So I just take these 2 bolts off, put that plate on, and then figure out the rest of it after that. All right, well, we pulled it out. It's, got all this debris. It's kind of cruddy in there. Let's have a look. Yeah, what's in there? So you can kind of see inside there. It's got a lot of gunk. We'll clean this up and then put the plate on. Try to get this out of the way for now. There, you can see that. Put that right there. Clean that, put the plate on. These bolts, as you can see, got some oil residue on them, so it might be a little long for what we need it. So let's see if I can find some shorter ones. All right, we got the plate put in. I didn't have any shorter bolts, so I made some spacers. It'll work for now. It's not the prettiest, but it's free. All right, so now, as you can see, there's a fuel line going to the carburetor, the pump, which we're taking out, and then the hose that I'm running through there. So the next step is to set this fuel pump up. The fuel pump has to be, well, at least this specific one has to be below the lowest point, at or below the lowest point of the tank, which is down there. So let me see if we can fit it under this little gap somehow. Somewhere, I'll figure that out. And it says no more than 1 foot away from the tank also. So yeah, I think just putting it underneath there, attaching it somehow, maybe moving the tank further up so we get a better flow. Not quite sure where I'm going to put this, but yeah, got to set that up. Run some wires to the ignition, and then we'll hopefully it'll work. Okay, so we have it hooked up now. I'm just gonna leave it there for now. It's about obviously less than 1 foot away, but it's a temporary spot just to make sure it runs good. Got the hose lined up. So now we're gonna connect these 2 wires. Well, this is obviously gonna go to ground somewhere. I wish I could just attach it to here. That'd be so simple, but I mean, for now, at least where it is, I'll just put it there so there's ground to something. And then this wire has to go all the way up here into the ignition position, or the run, so that it's getting fuel the whole time the car's on. So we got some extra wire, we got some crimps. It was recommended to put an inline 5-amp fuse, so we're gonna run that as well, obviously closer to the ignition source, and see if it runs. Okay, so we have the power wire hooked up to the ignition terminal on the ignition switch. Here's your little fuse holder, inline fuse holder, running all the way down to the pump. So let's turn the key on, see if we can hear it make some noise. Oh, there you go. It's working. Shut it off. All right, now it shuts off. Cool, let's try cranking it and see what happens. Oh, there we go. let some more fuel get to it. Okay, well, we let this run for a little bit. I'm gonna try to give it some gas, you know, while we're pumping it. Let's see. Oh, got something. There we go. Sick. Oh no. Let's try again. Oh yeah. There we go. Oh. Huh. Well. Seems to be doing the same issue as before. Might just need a carburetor adjustment. Okay, so we figured out that it's going to be a carburetor issue. This has been sitting for, you know, a while, and I don't know why I didn't think about this earlier, but we do not actually have a fuel filter. So the potential of bad gas getting in there, I mean, you kind of see it oozing out of the carburetor like that, is very high. So what I think we're gonna do is actually rebuild this. I looked it up. Found the part number. Let's see if I can focus in on that right down here. It says C5SFA, and we have a little helper here today with this also. So this is actually an original Ford carburetor, you can see right there, for the 352 Thunderbird engine, but this model, when I looked it up, says it was for the 65 to 67 years. So I guess technically it is an upgrade from what was originally on here, which is kind of cool. So yeah, like, we'll actually just try to rebuild this. They have the carburetor kits, and hopefully that was just the issue. All right, so first we're gonna do is obviously clamp this off. I just lost my hose clamp. There we go. You know, sometimes these hoses be acting up. You don't want no leaky hose. So, you know, sometimes you gotta perform some surgery and just kind of clamp that off right there. That way nothing leaks out when you start yanking on them hose. So yeah, then we'll just take this off, pop that out, figure out the size of these 4 nuts. Well, there's 2, 4, you know, 4 nuts hold these down, and then pop it off. Okay, so we got the hose pulled off a little bit of spillage, but that's not too bad. And it looks like these 4 nuts that are on here are all different sizes, which is going to be so much fun. I have a 7/16 right here, so let's see if that's a pretty bad angle for that, but that fits right there. Let's see this back one. That fits on that back one right there. Let's try this front one. Oh, nope, definitely not going to fit that. That's even bigger, so we'll get these 2 off, and then, you know, probably definitely going to change them all so that they're the same size, so I don't need 3 different wrenches or sockets to take this off. So here's the nuts. You got 2 7/16, you got 1/2, and some metric one that for some reason was on there. Probably going to switch them all to 1/2 inch so it's all pretty even and standardized. All right, so that's pretty much, I think that's hooked up. I mean, I'll take this little throttle cable off, and then some of this vacuum, so from the distributor, this little steel line goes all the way around into the bottom right there. So we'll take that vacuum line off. All right, let's see if we can actually pull this. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Ooh. see which way's easier. Oh, well, it's for sure gunky on there. Oh boy, there's just gas spilling everywhere right now. That smells real good. So, delicious. So we'll figure out what that size is. It looks like someone's stripping that, putting it on or something. But yeah, well, it's off. Put some rags in there so nothing burrows inside, like any animals or anything, while we're working on this. Yeah. Shouldn't be too hard. Hopefully I don't lose any parts and then have to buy a whole new one. Okay, well, here's a better view of it out. It doesn't look that bad on the inside. But let's see, flip it over. Oh, well. Yeah, I don't know why it's like that. Yeah, look at that gas. It's all brown and shit. Yeah, that could definitely be a reason why it wasn't firing. Maybe some of the gaskets or floats or something were stuck. Yeah. See that? Oh, that is for sure. That one was a little sticky for sure. Doesn't seem all that complicated. But, you know, little heat shields or whatever is a little loose. Tighten that down. Oops. Well, I hope that wasn't important. Huh. Well, we'll see where all these things go. Try to find a exploded diagram, or hopefully it comes with instructions. The rebuild kit. Clean it up. Slap it together. Hopefully get the bitch running again.